Go.
All right.
Go.
It's time. All right.
Yeah.
I think this is part 4 because this book is really long.
Yeah, it's part 4.
Hurricane and tornado encounter nature's most extreme weather phenomena, from turbulent twisters and fierce tropical cyclones. Climate change. A region's climate is its typical weather over 30 years, but climates can change. Ice ages, when world temperatures are very low, cause more frozen seawater, larger polar ice caps, and more land ice in the form of huge glaciers. One cause of ice ages is the varying distance between Earth and the Sun. At other times, higher than normal temperatures have wiped out civilizations. Scientists use many techniques, including examining fossils or tree rings, to read climate records. Ever-changing sea. The ammonoid or ammonite was a shelled marine animal that once lived in warm seas. Ammonoid fossils were found in Antarctic oceans from when Antarctica was not at the South Pole, and so not cold. Like all continents, Antarctica has drifted across Earth. Pole shift.
So it drifted from this part of Earth to the other side.
It's not like it's a loose island, I don't think. In my mind, I think of just pole shifting, like the magnetic field that shifts. So the magnetic north is different than the actual North Pole. Okay, moving on. Lost civilization. Dramatic climate change can force people out of their homes. The ancient Pueblo peoples lived in these caves in the southwest of what is now the U.S. until about 1280. I don't know. They moved after a 23-year drought. Ooh. They lasted 23 years before they decided that, not enough rain. Thick, woolly coat provides insulation on this woolly mammoth. During the last great ice age, woolly mammoths lived in the icy tundra of North America, Europe, and Asia. They died out as the weather's climate warmed. Hair-covered trunk to keep out the cold. Huge curved ivory tusks warded off predators and probably swept aside snow when feeding. Mini Ice Age. Much of Europe experienced the Little Ice Age. From 1500 to 1850, the average temperature was only a few degrees lower than normal. But rivers and seawater froze and winters were harsh.
Would you like a mini Ice Age?
Okay, I don't like how this book has the words in the gutter. Tree circles.
Mom.
Trees grow thicker each year. No, don't pause it. I'm reading. New living wood is created in a layer beneath the bark. Each year's growth appears as a ring. The warmer the climate, the more growth, and the thicker the ring. By analyzing ring width, scientists can calculate average temperatures for each year of the tree's life. The thicker a tree ring, the...
Done.
All right, so I don't know where he paused the video. 5-year-olds are fun.
Not fun.
This 5-year-old is challenging, but he's awesome. He's a good cuddler. All right, here we go. Tree circles. Trees grow thicker each year. New living wood is created in a layer beneath the bark. Each year's growth appears as a ring. The warmer the climate, the more growth and the thicker the ring. By analyzing ring width, scientists can calculate average temperatures for each year of the tree's life. Space dust. When a huge meteorite hit Earth 50,000 years ago, millions of tons of dust were thrown into the air and stayed there for a year, reflecting much sunlight back into space. Some scientists believe this can cause reduced global temperatures, global warming, which they're trying to do right now. They're trying to put, I think, volcanic ash into the upper stratosphere or something to help reflect the sun. They think we're in a global warming. Situation, global warming. The world's average temperature is rising. Most climate scientists blame human activities such as the burning of fuels. If global warming carries on at this rate, more ice at the poles will melt, causing flooding in many places next century.
That's right.
We don't know if that's right. The world goes through change. It just said it over here. Change. Now, I do believe that they're causing problems with, like, the tanker fuels that are really bad.
Or maybe the volcanoes.
But cows aren't causing this.
Cows cannot.
They're talking about the methane from cows farting causing this. It's ridiculous.
Cows
Living
fart.
record. The oldest living trees are bristlecone pines found in California and Nevada. Some are more than 4,000 years old and are a living record of the climate. Removing a thin sample allows its rings to be analyzed. A massive iceberg in Greenland dwarfs a passing fishing trawler. I haven't ever read that word.
That's a big ice.
A trawler.
Imagine if
All
that
right.
hit the
One
land.
section done. Next, El Nino. El Nino. El Nino.
El Nino.
Every 2 to 10 years, part of the Pacific Ocean becomes warmer than normal during winter. And Pacific winds change direction, blowing warm water east towards South America. This El Nino effect causes extreme weather in the tropics. Stop, please.
Yes, ma'am.
You're supposed to be listening, remember?
I know.
Weather in the tropics that can last up to 4 years. Outside the tropics, El Nino can cause average winter temperatures to fall and increase winter rainfall. El Nino can be predicted several months ahead, so early warnings allow farmers to alter their crops for the conditions. Hot and cold. This map shows how El Nino affected global temperatures in 1983. The orange and red areas show warmer than normal temperatures. The blue areas cooler than normal. Hard times. El Nino, Spanish for the Christ child. They named a storm the Christ child. Was so called by Peruvian fishermen because it appears over Christmas when El Nino winds blow warm water over the cool Peruvian seas. Plankton cannot grow in the warmer water, and so the fish that eat the plankton disappear. Many Peruvians depend on fishing and so suffer during El Nino. On the rocks, sea lions and seabirds, these guys, off the western coast of South America often starve during El Nino because they feed on the fish that thrive on the cold water plankton. When El Nino hits, the cool waters are pushed down, the fish swim deeper, out of reach. Warm and wet. The 1998 El Nino causes floods in Kenya, Africa, ruining corn crops and spreading diseases such as malaria. Heavy snow. During El Nino, the change in Pacific Ocean currents affects the west coast of the U.S. Some areas may suffer floods. Others become colder, seen in the high snow levels in the southern California mountains in 1998.
Ooh, I want to go there. To the big snow.
Big snows? Yeah. Seabed skeletons.
Seabed skeletons.
Skeletons. Blanched coral indicates the presence of El Nino. Tiny algae live. Ow! Please don't ever do that again.
Ow.
Okay, tiny algae live on coral and are vital to its survival. They move away from the ocean's temperature. When the ocean temperature rises, leaving behind the coral's white skeleton. With higher temperatures, coral reefs become barren and die. Man. Drought alert. El Nino reduces rainfall in Brazil, which can lead to drought. During the 1987 El Nino, Brazil's grain production fell by 80%. In 1992, scientists were able to predict El Nino, and so farmers planted crops that would survive a drought. Burning up. In 1998, El Nino brought drought to Sumatra. Indonesia. It dried the trees and forest fires burned for weeks, covering Sumatra with thick smoke. It was so dark that drivers used headlights during the day. All dried up. During an El Nino, you're getting too close to my foot again where you hurt me. Okay? During an El Nino, winds push warm water east toward South America and away from Australia in the west. The cooler waters around eastern Australia lead to reduced rainfall, and large areas suffer from drought, causing many farmers to abandon their land. Washed away, much of the west coast of South America is very dry because its coastal waters are normally cool. During the 1998 El Nino, however, rain began to fall at an incredible rate. Floods broke riverbanks and swept away villages. Freaky conditions. Earth's atmosphere and the sun provide all the Earth's weather conditions. Most people experience sunshine, wind, rain, and perhaps snow, but the sun and atmosphere can also create strange conditions. Shh!
I'm sorry, Mom.
Many people have seen a rainbow caused by sunlight hitting raindrops and bouncing back. Few have seen a moonbow. Other tricks of light include halos, mirages, and spooky broken specter, while electric charges are responsible for the beautiful aurora lights. Mysterious glow. St. Elmo's fire is a rare light that glows at the tips of pointed objects during an electric storm. The glow may be caused when the point leaks an electric charge that is attracted to the charge of a thunderstorm. Colors in the sky. When the sun is low behind you and it is raining, you may see a rainbow. Sunlight reflects off raindrops, bending as it travels through them. Each color that makes up sunlight bends at a different angle, and so a rainbow appears as a bend of color. A ghostly sight. Some mountain climbers see huge human figures. The figures are just the climbers' shadows cast on the bases of nearby clouds, an effect called the broken specter. The shadows may have colorful halos called broken bows. Glowing globes. People worldwide have reported balls of light that hover in midair or drift along before exploding or fading away. This ball lightning is likely electrical caused by thunderstorms. Colors at moonrise. When a bright full moon rises in the east and the sun sets in the west, you may see a rare moonbow. This forms in the same way as a rainbow, so the moon must be behind you, and it must be raining in the west. Magical snowballs. When new snow falls on old and is blown by a strong, warm wind, snow sometimes rolls itself up. It is rare to see them forming, but you may find a whole field full of spectacular snowballs. Snowballs. See, look. Weird. There's a hole through it. More snow gathers on the outside as the hollow cylinder of snow moves. Distorted view. Mirages are produced when light from distant objects bends as it passes through air at different temperatures, causing people to think they see shimmering, watery reflections in the desert. Rock reflected in the sand gives the illusion of water. God bless you. Sun halo. We're almost done with this page. When sunlight passes through cirrus high-altitude clouds, a halo can be seen around the sun. Folklore says that halos are a sign of imminent rain, which has some truth to it. Cirrus clouds do often precede rainfall. Auroras. These displays of colored light can often be seen near the North and South poles. The light is produced high in the atmosphere as electrically charged solar particles are attracted toward the magnetic poles and collide with air molecules. Sunset spark. This is a pretty picture. On a clear day, as the sun sets or rises, a green flash may light the sky. It is visible only over a defiant horizon and is caused by sunlight being bent and scattered by dust particles in the atmosphere. I think we will end up doing a number 5 because it looks like we have several more pages. So we're going to end right there. Beyond Earth will be our next video. Thank you, Titan, for assisting.
The entire video.
Close it off.
The pause.
No.